Hey peeps, welcome to another video. So today I thought I would do the Seamstress Tag, which is the brainchild of Hollie from Hollie Sews, and I will link her channel in the description bar down below. She's come up with a set of 12 questions which is geared towards getting to know the person behind the camera a little better. Now I know I've just done my 50 random facts about me tag and I will have answered some of these questions already, but I'll try and go into a little bit more detail on those. So here goes. Question 1. Who are you? My name is Sian Elizabeth. I live on the south coast of the Isle of Wight in the UK. Question 2. When and why did you start sewing? I started sewing around 30-ish years ago. My mum had a sewing machine, my grandma had a sewing machine. She used to make the most amazing costumes for me and my brother. And I vividly remember going to a fabric store with my mum and picking out a pattern and some fabric for me to make my very first garment, and I decided I wanted a jumpsuit, and I decided that I wanted, it was going to be knit fabric, I remember that, and there was a really nice black and white floral and there was some fluorescent pink, and everyone was trying to persuade me to go for the black and white floral as the main fabric and the fluorescent pink as the trim, but no, I went for the fluorescent pink all over. And I remember going home and then never touching that project again, because when am I ever going to wear a fluorescent pink jumpsuit? What was I thinking? I also remember making a velvet baker's boy cap with like beaded embroidery on the peak. I used to alter my mum's clothes, probably without telling her, quite a lot, to sort of like look like the things that I'd seen in fashion magazines and stuff. And then I've been sewing on and off for years. I remember taking 3 days off of my job at the casino, Playboy Casino, to spend the weekend sewing, and I made 3 of the same dress in that weekend. In beautiful bark cloth fabrics that I got from Hawaii, and the dresses are gorgeous, but the inside of them were appalling. I didn't know anything about finishing and any of that sort of stuff, so they're in my UFO pile to be taken apart to salvage the fabric for something else. But I started sewing because I'm not a strange shape, I'm just a weird like a non-standard shape, because I have a size 12 bust, I have a size 6 waist, sometimes a 4, and a size 14 butt, and I also have a long torso and I'm tall. So stuff on the high street, it would either, I'd have to get it to fit my butt and my boobs, but then the waist would fit in the wrong place. If it actually fit me on the waist, there was no way I was getting it over my hips. That just wasn't going to happen. And short skirts were usually obscene on me, and I don't have long legs, I just am tall, and because I have such a long body, they just kick the proportions out to the point where most short skirts were just literally knicker flashing without the gust of wind, so not a good look. So yeah, I decided to start making stuff for myself, because I could get the fabrics I wanted, I could get the silhouette I wanted, and I could have stuff that fit. So that was when and why I started sewing. Question 3. What is your favourite or proudest make? And I'd have to say it's my sister-in-law's wedding dress. It was amazing to be asked to do it, and it was really lovely seeing her wearing it on the day. It was a very interesting make. My mum bought the fabric about 2 years in advance, a beautiful peacock blue silk. Then about a year in advance, while we were all over on holiday in Saudi Arabia, I made a muslin for Nia, and I'd said to her to please bring the underwear she was planning on wearing on the day, or at least something similar. So she put it on and it fit pretty much perfectly out of the pattern. We just needed a few little tweaks. And then she said, it's going to look even better when I have my corset on. And it was like, what? So she then ordered the corset so I could get the waist measurement that she wanted the dress taken down to, adjusted the pattern, and then just went for it. And she'd been trying to lose weight for the wedding, which is completely understandable, but it got to the point where her and my brother arrived about 10 days before the wedding, and that's when I started sewing. So yes, it was a race against time, but I knew it was doable. I wasn't worried about it because it was a pattern that I knew how to make. It was a very stable material and we'd planned out everything, so it was literally just a case of having her in close proximity for fittings. There were 1 or 2 late nights hand stitching beautiful trims onto waistbands and sleeves, but yeah, it was a lovely process and I'm really pleased that I got to do that. So yeah, that would definitely have to be my proudest make. Question number 4, what is your most disastrous make? There have been many. One that really sticks out in my mind is when I first got back into sewing, probably around 8 or 9 years ago. I remember going to John Lewis on Oxford Street and buying 2-tone crystal organza and a really slippery hot pink lining, probably China silk I think it was, and then attempting to make a halter neck evening gown with it, because I just really liked the fabric. I'm a magpie, it was shiny. It didn't even occur to me that it would be difficult to work with, and I just cut the pattern out straight away. I didn't trace, didn't know about tracing, and yeah, that was a disaster. And I kind of didn't read the instructions and I was just going along with like, oh yeah, well, that goes there and this yeah, I never finished that dress. I think my mum has the offcuts in her fabric stash because I just don't want to think about it anymore. I can't remember what I even did with it. It didn't get finished. But yeah, that one really sticks out in my mind, but there have been a few. Question 5, where is your favourite place to go fabric shopping? Actual physical location, for me it has to be Rainbows in Ventnor. Highly recommend them if you're after some pretty and well priced quilting cottons and you happen to be on the Isle of Wight. Otherwise the Goldhawk Road, I think that place is amazing. I could spend an entire day there and I have done that before. I also really love travelling with my mum and going shopping in places like Saudi Arabia and Dubai and places like that. In Saudi they have entire malls dedicated just to fabric, and it is all shiny beaded beautiful lace that they make the most amazing window displays with. They make them look into ball gowns as is, to give you an idea of what you can do with these things, and it's just stunning. And the trims that they have available, that just unbelievable. But obviously I don't get to do that very often, especially now mum and dad are living back in the UK. Online, fabric.com, so over it. I think everyone said so over it. They have beautiful fabrics. Truro fabrics, stone fabrics, Joel's and Son if I'm feeling particularly rich, which doesn't happen very often. Beckford silks, gosh, the list goes on. I do prefer touching and feeling fabric before I buy it, but given that my local options are very limited, that doesn't get to happen very often. So I love places that do fabric swatches, and which most do. So yeah. Oh, eBay is another one. So just anywhere that sells fabric, basically. Give me all the fabric I needed. I have an addiction. Question number 6. What is your most used pattern? I have 3. It's the By Hand London Anna bodice, the Vogue V8947 bodice, and the Kittenish Behaviour Grace dress. And I love all of those, and I have perfected the fit on them and they're very easy for me to sew up quite quickly. And given that I have a very limited amount of time to sew selfishly these days, I really want to be able to make something from start to finish, not worry about if the end item is going to fit, and that is especially true when I'm using fabrics I know I can no longer get a hold of. So yes, cheating a bit, but I have 3, as you know. Question number 7. What is your most dreaded sewing task? Currently buttonholes. I've been trying to put the buttonholes in my trench coat, and the ones that I did on scrap piece of material to practice came out beautifully. The minute I started them on the actual trench coat, disaster. So yeah, buttonholes at the moment. I'm going to I've just ordered some embroidery floss and I'm going to finish them by hand because there is absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do with my machine, which is very annoying. Question number 8, my favourite sewing task. That's really difficult because I enjoy everything. I do even enjoy buttonholes when they behave themselves. Probably, oh, when you have finished the neckline and armholes on a bodice and you get to do that magic thing where you turn it all inside out and it's suddenly, and press it, and it's suddenly this beautiful thing that just needs its side seam sewing up. Yeah, that, I love that bit, like the little kind of like magic-y bits, like the in the Monoro, Sewaholic Monoro coat as well. Tazia talks you through machine finishing the sleeve lining to the sleeve, and it's just this little bit of magic where you pin something in a certain way and then you can do that and turn it inside out and you don't end up with like a Mobius loop that won't, yeah, that bit, that sort of like magic component of working out a way of constructing something so that you can have beautifully finished edges and seams, and yeah, turning fabric inside out basically. Question number 9, what is your favourite sewing entertainment? Again, if you've watched my sewing room tour, you will know that I like to have either something that I've watched loads of times playing on the TV, so like Harry Potter, Gilmore Girls, Once Upon a Time, that kind of stuff. Netflix, brilliant for that. I also listen to lots of audiobooks. Again, tends to be something that I've listened to before so I don't have to concentrate on it. I love listening to podcasts. One of my favourite is Let's Make Mistakes Together with Philip DeFranco and different guests, and obviously sewing vlogs and stuff as well, but I don't tend to watch those when I'm actually sewing, maybe just when I'm cutting out, because I want to concentrate on what I'm watching and I end up sort of sitting staring at the TV rather than actually doing the sewing task that I'm meant to be doing. So yeah, stuff that I don't have to concentrate on too hard. Question 10, printed or PDF? Printed all the way, definitely. Pretty packaging, easy to store. Yeah, if I don't have an option, I will buy PDFs, but I hate taping them together. I have limited sewing time and that's the last thing that I want to be doing. However, once I've taped them together, I do trace my PDFs and then try and store them in such a way that I can reuse them whenever I need to, if I need to trace a different size, for example. But yeah, sucker for the packaging. Give me the pretty printed patterns. Question 11, what sewing machine do you use? I'm really lucky. I have a Bernina 830. When I came to buy a new machine about 3.5 years ago, I was talking to my mum, who had recently got into quilting, and she had been indoctrinated into the Bernina cult. And I'm sorry mum, but it is a little bit of a cult. I didn't have to worry about money when I was looking for my new machine, so I bought the top of the line 830, which is amazing. It has a huge 12-inch throat space, which works out really well for big bulky items like coats, quilts and stuff like that. It has the embroidery unit that comes with it, which I absolutely adore and use very frequently. The amount of decorative stitches and stuff that it does is unbelievable, so I couldn't be happier. Absolutely love my machine. I also have a Singer Featherlight 2, which I remember seeing an advert in the back of a magazine, and I think it was half price, so I got it for £100 around about 15 years ago, and up until I got the Bernina, that was what I made everything on, and it worked perfectly well, and it still does, and I do use it very occasionally. Question 12, do you have any other hobbies? Why yes I do. I also do paper crafting, so I make photo albums, I do make books, I do scrapbooking, I do Project Life. All of those have kind of taken a bit of a back seat over the last sort of 8 months, and while sewing is an amazing thing and I love doing it, it's not a hobby for me anymore. It's actually become my job, which is amazing, and I'm incredibly lucky and I do love it. But I do find myself, even on days off, doing something sewing related. So I've decided that I need to give myself at least a couple of days a month to actually dedicate to my other hobby, because I miss it and I have all of the stuff which is just sitting there and taunting me. So yeah, that's my other hobby. So that's all 12 questions. Thank you so much to Hollie for coming up with those. That was really fun to do, although it's taken me way longer to answer them than it probably should have. Thank God for editing. Now, Hollie's tagged a whole bunch of people that I already follow on YouTube, and they've also tagged a whole bunch of other people that I also follow on YouTube. But if you would like to have a go at this tag, please do. I would love to see your response, so link me in the comments down below. If you don't have a YouTube channel but you have a blog, that would be great, or Instagram, just make sure to use the Seamstress Tag hashtag, and that way we can all find each other. Yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed watching this and listening to me ramble on a bit about myself a bit more. Feels like it's been very kind of Sian-centric videos for the last few days, last few weeks even, but there we go. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye! Lots of fodder for the bloopers. Oh my god, all the bloopers. Link her channel in the... Oh my god, I'm getting attacked by a fly. Yeah, go away. Jump, jump. Sound like Shaun the Sheep apparently when I do that. And the digging for China stuff. Why, Gianna, why? You know, if I say that right, you know, I have no idea. Just making up as I go along.
Question 10, printed or PDF? Definitely printed. I like the packaging that they come in, especially the indie patterns. I like the fact that they store much easier than the... My cat has gotten under the quilt.
You little weirdo. It looks like tremors in the background, that's she.